Hey everyone, it's 10 Types, and Mega Evolutions, or I guess in Japan, Mega Brave and Mega Symphonia, which are the translations of the two sets which make up Mega Evolutions internationally, are out in Japan. And this is really exciting, and I've talked a lot about the sets and the cards and a lot of things just about it, and people really enjoy talking about it because it's a cool new era of Pokemon introducing the Mega Evolutions Pokemon, which are kind of like regular EXs, except they give up 3 prizes and are therefore a little bit stronger, which is interesting to take a look at here. And I've ranked them based on my personal opinion, which is like completely subjective. But today we're taking a look at the objective tournament data from Japan. Keep in mind that the tournament results are definitely useful and meaningful. I don't think the in Japan right now, the full tournaments are like going on like the city leagues. I'm not unsurprisingly as familiar with the tournament structure in Japan because I don't live there. That being said, though, it's definitely going to be useful here and very meaningful and gonna kind of reflect what will happen internationally when these come out. And on top of that, it will also honestly impact what happens because a lot of the times people look at what's being played on, if you're not in Japan, you look at what's being played in Japan and then you kind of base what you want to play based on that. And then the meta kind of reflects that very directly. So I want to take a look at the meta and the development. And this is going to be looking at some, I'm not going to talk too much about the older decks. I'm going to talk about them a little bit. If they have new pieces, I definitely will talk about them. But then I'm going to take more of a focus on the newer decks here. So this is what it was like. I'm recording this, I will say, on the 13th. So posting it probably a day or two after that. If it ends up being more, then obviously it's a little more outdated, but it should still be fine here. But this is what the meta looked like kind of going into it. We do see some new decks, not too many. A little bit of the Mega Lucario and the Mega Venusaur here, and that's about it. And 3% meta, like if you want to know what the meta percentages are now, if you look online, I will group them together. So Dragapult is 18%, which is like a lot, right? And then we see Goldengo at 10% here, or 11, I guess. Then we got 9% for Gardevoir, 9% for Marnies. You see the top 10 is the ninth deck here, which is Flareon is 3%, and then like 2.5 for Miraidon, which is the 10th deck, with other being like, I actually don't know what's in other here. I think it is just like weird stuff. Oh, that's control. Um, yeah, not sure what's going on with that. But anyways, so these tiers are, it's not like there's any absurdly good deck. I mean, Dragon Balls like very dominant in standard right now at 18%. That's pretty high. We'll take a look. We'll see. Gardevoir here has risen above that. So we're going to talk a lot about Gardevoir here. But Gardevoir coming into the format, like kind of early days of it, nothing's too surprising here. Dragapult lower down. Of course, Dragapult doesn't have a weakness, but Mega Gardevoir EX does hit obviously Psychic weakness, and with Lily's Clefairy EX, you can give Dragapult EX the Psychic weakness there. Then also we see, looking at the weakness, like, not triangle, but like weakness matchups, it's pretty interesting here. We see the Dragon Pokemon and we see Psychic hitting those for weakness. We see the Darkness Pokemon hitting those for weakness, Grass hitting the Darkness Pokemon for weakness. We do also see a few different fire decks. We see some metal decks, which are hit for weakness. Also, the grass decks hit for weakness by the fire decks. Then we see the fighting decks as well. We will take a look at a little bit of lightning as well. Lightning is hit for weakness by fighting, and also we see that fighting is hit for weakness by psychic. That's the big one here is psychic, with Gardevoir EX being a really big deal. Being weak to that isn't going to be great, obviously, especially if you are a Pokemon that's a Pokemon that's a 3 prizer or harder to set up as well. So being hit for weakness, being one-shotted is really bad. Then also hitting Gardevoir EX for weakness can be meaningful. Though Gardevoir EX itself, of course, if you're not familiar, it's a Pokemon that sits on the bench and powers up your Pokemon. So it's not going to be in the active. It's a bit of a liability, like if it is a weak to your opponent's Pokemon, that's not good, but it's not as big of a deal as like a main attacker is. So also looking at Raging Bull and Goldengo decks 2 and 3, and I think they stay that. Oh no, Dragapult passes up Goldengo here. But ultimately, we see that these decks are big one-shotting decks. Most of the decks here are not. I think the rest aren't. Ceruledge can be a one-shotting deck, but we see really high damage multipliers. We see 70 times with the Raging Bull, 50 times the Goldengo, can one-shot anything. Gardevoir EX also can. We'll take a look more again at Gardevoir EX specifically. But in terms of megas in general, taking one shots is good. So weakness is meaningful. These big one shotty Pokemon are also really nice there, but they are like kind of unlimited damage, right? They have these scaling damage based on energy and can one shot any of these Pokemon, but they will struggle as the HPs get higher. The highest of which being 380 here with Mega Vssor EX in terms of raw HP. You can boost it as well with other things, but that's 8 energy from Goldengo. If you have Monkey Dory, I mean Monkey Dory is you'd need 7, but then you need the energy on Monkey Dory. Plus the one enhanced, so that's all, or plus the one attached, which will be 9. So that's like kind of crazy. And then with a Raging Bolt, you're going to need 6 energy, so that's a lot. That's a lot on board. So one Chinese Pokemon is very good, but it's going to get harder to do. And then as the meta develops, we see more Charizard, we see a little less Dragapult. Nothing like too crazy to talk about with the meta here. In terms of shifts, so we do see Mega Manectric come into the format here. We see Cynthia's drop down a little. Actually, I don't know if we see Cynthia's drop down a little. Not sure exactly how are these tiers working. I don't know. I think it's ultimately also this website is translated. I will say that. So if you see like weird stuff, that's why. Because the website Pokemon Book here is a Japanese website. But ultimately you see that like the lower decks and like the decks in different tiers don't change up too much, but Gardevoir just kind of gets better. So let's see, do we have a list? Oh, that's awesome. It's not loading. Okay. My internet is being weird. But we see Mega Gardevoir EX. I've looked at a bunch of different lists. Some of them play Mega Gardevoir EX. Most of them do, but I think most play 1. This list here plays 2. I think generally they're leaning more towards Mega Gardevoir EX as time has went on. Overall, my impressions of the card, I still stand by the fact it's not like an insane card. Gardevoir EX is an insane card. So, the Gardevoir EX as in the 2 prizer. We need to, because normally people just say like Gardevoir when referring to Gardevoir EX. But now we need to make sure we don't say that because it'll be like super confusing. Because there's 2 cards in the deck that are Gardevoir. There's Gardevoir EX and Mega Gardevoir EX. So Gardevoir EX accelerates a bunch of energy onto your board, and this allows you to power up Gardevoir EX. Let's open up Pokemon proxies here. I think they got the proxies for the cards. And where is it? Oh, it's Mega Symphonia. This is a lot of scrolling. Okay, Mega Gardevoir EX here. Oh, this is actually not a proxy, by the way. Which, random side note, this was revealed at the World Championships. That's why it isn't a proxy. Well, this is like the official translation. This is what the card was revealed to look like. Versus something like Curly, we see it says PokemonProxies.com. It's like it is a proxy. So, Mega Gardevoir EX was revealed at the World Championships, and the World Championships are right around the corner or happening. Not sure at the time of releasing this, but anyways, there's going to be some new reveals, and I will be talking about those, so I'm super excited. Make sure you subscribe and like as well so you don't miss those. But I'm really excited to see what they're going to reveal here. But Mega Gardevoir EX here accelerates energy with its first attack, but that's not good. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's bad because it is an attack that powers up your board. Which, I mean, getting energy on your board is very important for the second attack, which does just 50 for each psychic energy attached to all your Pokemon. Kind of very similar to Goldengo EX and Raging Bolt EX's attacks, which are damage based on energy. So, you can use the first attack to power it up. Theoretically, power up other stuff as well. But your HP, I guess, is higher than anything in standard without the new set here, but it's not an absurd card in terms of HP. It's not like that much tankier than like the other stage 2 EXs that we look at. Then also you have, as I mentioned, a weakness. There are ways to one-shot it, and you don't really want to just be getting hit into anyways. There are ways to heal up kind of here, but they're not amazing. There is the stopwatch card or whatever it's called, which is interesting within the deck. We don't even see it in this list here, so I'm not really going to talk about it. But Mega Gardevoir EX, you can just take big one-shots, but it's more so, I think, a finisher in the game. You have other attacking options. You have Screamtail. We see Monkey Dory, of course, being important to the deck. We have Gardevoir EX itself to attack with, the Mew EX here. We don't see Liz Clefairy EX in the list. I'm actually going to take a look at... this is just a bunch of lists here. So this one has 1 Mega Gardevoir. We see Liz Clefairy EX. We see Clefairy. We see 2 Screamtails. We don't really see Griffloon on the list. We also do see Abra. I'm actually not super wait, how does Abra work? I have not really played with Abra actually. I played with it in, I don't remember. So Abra, I know it shuffles itself. Yeah, it shuffles itself and the attached cards into your deck. Into your deck. So in the comments, can you let me know what the use case of Abra is here? I'm not super familiar. like it kind of has value with Mystery Garden, which we'll talk about. And it does allow you to. It is a pivot, so like I kind of see its value, but I'm a little confused about it, and it needs to be in the active as well. So, anyways, that's an interesting card. Is it just a pivot? I don't know. Or mainly a pivot. Anyways, it's a good card here. And as I said, it might mostly be there for Mystery Garden, which we'll talk about, which is a very good card. Not actually in this list here, which surprises me. But anyways, that's good. There is also, I will mention Lily's Determination here, which is a supporter, which is a new card. In my opinion, the best new card I've heard, based on what other people have said and other people's opinions. I think most people I think it's like the people think it's very good. This isn't like me giving some hot take. I don't know if this is a hot take. I think it will be the strongest card in the game when it comes to standard internationally, because it's a supporter. You shuffle draw six, but turn not turn one, I guess, but like if you have six prizes remaining, you shuffle draw eight. So that's like super good. It is turn one, but it's not just turn one. It could be like most of the game if you're playing control or something. So very strong supporter there, which is good for like it kind of works with the rare candy. It works better than like research. I mean, research draws a lot of cards as well, but you can lose the rare candies, you can lose important pieces. So with a deck that you could be using single prizes like Driftloon or Screamtail or whatever, then Lily's is nice, just like drawing a bunch of cards. I don't know. I'm kind of rambling here, but anyways, Lily's good here. It's good in a lot of decks as well. But did want to mention it as it's potentially the card we'll be seeing the most, and not going to talk about it with every deck. But yeah, so you got some new pieces there. But Mega Vssor EX is very good for just taking one shots, and that's like very good. Not super overcomplicated, but again, it is a liability due to the fact that it's giving you 3 prizes. And it can get knocked out. It might have damage counters on it. It might not. Obviously, you know, you have a bunch of Monkey Dories in the list. You got quite a few of those, so you can stay safe. But anyways, then we have the other stadium or the other new card for this list, which is super good, which is Mystery Garden. Mystery Garden says once during each player's turn, that player may discard an energy from the hand of any type. Does not need to be a psychic energy. Could be a psychic or a darkness, or I guess anything. But obviously in Gardevoir you're playing psychic, and you're also playing quite a few. I mean, not quite, like 3 darkness. So you can discard those and then draw until you have as many cards in hand as psychic Pokemon to play. I've talked about this card a lot. You play mostly or entirely psychic Pokemon in the list. And that's so then you can just draw a bunch of cards, right? You just go ahead, have a mostly full bench or full bench, draw like a bunch of cards every turn. Your opponent could bump this stadium, right? And also you could have a clogged hand. You could not have Pokemon on your board as well. I think the biggest, I guess, quote unquote issue with the card is that if you don't have your like Buddy Buddy Poffins and Nest Balls or Ultra Balls or whatever to get your board set, and you don't have the Arvins and stuff, then the Stadium Mystery Garden isn't going to get you out of that situation, and that's the most important part of the game to get where you will like want to get set up in, right? That's why Lily's Determination is so good, because getting set up at the start of the game is so important for getting you into the game and like getting you rolling. Mystery Garden isn't that really, but it's still very good. If you played with Genesect V, or I mean, I recently made a video talking about it. I don't know based on my upload schedule, but where I went over the whole Scarlet and Violet metagame, I talked about UV Max, which was right before that, and I had Genesect V, which was super strong, and Mystery Garden is, in my opinion, a similar card. It's not quite as good, but it's still very good. So that is ultimately, in my opinion, the reason why Guard was. I mean, like Guard was really good in standard without the Mega stuff. But this stadium is amazing for it. The Lily supporter is nice. And then Mega Gardevoir EX is a nice piece within the deck. It's not like super amazing. Like I hear people hyping it up as like super great. I think I mean there are valid arguments to be made that it is the best Mega. I mean it's like the potentially the one that's going to see the most competitive usage. That being said, like I'd say it's more so a card that like fits really well within the deck, and in itself isn't doing that much of the heavy lifting. Gardevoir EX is doing the heavy lifting, but still, Gardevoir EX, amazing. Then we got Goldango. What is this Goldango list? I don't think this is a normal Goldango list, but anyways, here it is. But yeah, no, it's Goldango. Not too much to talk about. There's a lot to talk about with it, with Black Coat White Flare, with Genesect EX and Air Balloon being really nice for the deck. Overall, it's a good deck. Not too much to say though. It can take big one shots, which I said already. Then we have again, this is Google Translate. But we have a Raging Bull Ogre Pond here. Again, can take one shots. You can hit Grass Weakness as well, which could be nice there. And yeah, not too much to break down that I haven't said already, but it is very good here. Then we have Charizard. Not too much to say about Charizard. I mean, it can take big knockouts, can take one shots on these three prizers, which is nice. Can knock out the Gardevoir, like pretty much anything in Gardevoir, which is good. I was like, what is this card? Is this a Japanese exclusive to you, or is that like a regular one that I'm just forgot existed? Oh, that's the pre-release promo. Okay, yeah, that's a different print than kind of a different print than we had. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked here. But it's good, right? It's Charizard. Charizard's good. It's always been good. It's still good. Yep, not too much to break down there. Then we have Dragapult here. Again, same thing. Like Dragapult's still good. Not really too many new pieces. Again, we see Lily's Determination in these lists because it's super good. And we see like Hilda Neo Upper Energy, Luminous Energy with Monkey Dories. If you've heard my like thoughts on it, I do like I don't know, I guess I'd say like more aggressive with like Arvins and like Sparkling Crystal. I do like that, but you know, there's Jamming Tower, right? So, anyways, Dragon Ball still good, obviously. It is hit for weakness though by the Lily's Clefairy EX Psychic stuff. So that could be an issue. I mean, you still like trade evenly, so it's not actually that bad. If and trade evenly, as in that, I mean you prize trade, as in if they one shot you, then you can also one shot them, and you each give up two prizes. Actually, you could trade positively because you could take bench knockouts as well. So yeah. Anyways, it's still very good. Again, not too much to break down there. Then we have Cavalon EX. You know, same thing. Still good. Marnie's, I still think it's like I'm not the biggest Marnie's fan. I don't think it's a bad deck. I think people used to think it was like broken, and I mean it's a good deck, but anyways, it's good. Then we have Mega Lucario EX. It's not rendered here. Where is Mega Lucario? Let's go, I found it. Okay, so Mega Lucario EX is the actually the other Mega revealed at Worlds here. Revealed alongside another item card here, which is Premium Power Pro. Where is it? Which says that your fighting Pokemon do 30 more damage, and Fighting Gong, which says you search your deck for basic fighting Pokemon and a basic fighting energy, reveal it, put into your hand, which was not revealed at Worlds. But these are new fighting cards, which are really good items. Well, they're not fighting, but they're fighting support type cards. And yeah, they're very good. Work with the Mega Lucario EX, which is first attack for 1 to fighting, 130. Attach up to 3 basic fighting energy from your discard to your Pokemon, bench Pokemon in any way you like. You can do 270 for 2 fighting, but you cannot use that attack next turn. We also see the only other fighting Pokemon in this list, or Pokemon at all, being the Solrock, which is not very good. It does 70 for 1 if Luto's in play. Does not hit weakness either. But then it's not terrible. I will say it can be useful for taking a nice quick knockout on your opponent's Pokemon, so it does have legitimate value. But then Lunatone here is really good. With this ability, Lunar Cycle, you can only use 1 Lunar Cycle ability per turn, but you discard a fighting from your hand, basic fighting, and draw 3 cards. Kind of like Radiant Greninja, which was previously in the format and at the end of the Sword and Shield era, as well as like Pheasantipty EX, right? I think it has a similar role to that card. It's a single prizer, though. It's not Buddy Buddy Poffin searchable, but it's still very good. Also really interesting to see no Buddy Buddy Poffins in this list because it's only searching the Riolus. I believe there is a Buddy Buddy Poffin searchable Riolu, but I think actually most of them are. Yeah, but anyways, you're not playing it, so you don't need it. So that's kind of fun. Increasing your HP. Fighting Gong, really good for consistency here. Also, we see Premium Power Pro as well, a very strong card, as I said, so really nice cards there. And we see Acers Mischief. We do see Lily's as well, but Acers Mischief is a card I'm still not sure how good it is. It seems, I don't know if gimmicky is the right term for it, but and I think we haven't seen it in the other lists. I'm going to take a quick flip through. These are just kind of sample lists, as I kind of tend to say, where they're like, yeah, some lists might look like this, but as I showed with the Gardevoir list, people are definitely playing them in a lot of different ways as well. But anyways, we see Acers Mischief here, which is a supporter that says you can only use this if your opponent has 2 or fewer prizes remaining. I will say this is kind of clunky to use with the Megas, because if you're using the Megas, then at that point, if your 1 Mega gets knocked out, your Mega Lucario EX gets knocked out, you can't play it, right? Your opponent has 3 prizes remaining, so not less than 2, or not 2 or less. So that doesn't work. And then if they knock out another Mega Lucario EX, they win. So then you can't use it because you've lost. So it's kind of awkward to use. You need to use it if you've had like a Solrock knocked out. So maybe that's a very important part of the list. I have not played it. I'm definitely going to test at some point. But ultimately, Acers Mischief here can be usable, and then it protects one of your Pokemon in play. It says choose one of your Pokemon in play, and during your opponent's next turn, you prevent all effects, all damage and effects from of attacks from your opponent's Pokemon done to this Pokemon by Pokemon EX specifically, which is like most of them. I will say Gardevoir is super good, and Gardevoir plays like single prizes that can knock it out. So yeah, that's not great. They're not knocking out. I was gonna say they're not knocking out super easily. It's not that hard. But anyways, you do have the Mega Lucario, which can be protected against things using Acers Mischief. The deck, as I said, has a good draw engine, but it's not like it's just like I'd say a pure draw engine where you're drawing some cards throughout the course of the game with the abilities. You also have supporters to draw, but you're not searching them out. I guess you have Poke here as well, but you don't have like Noctowl or the Inteleon engine a while ago, or like Lumineon V or Tapu Lele GX or anything like that. So you are kind of relying on drawing into it at the right time. Same thing with like something like Boss, which you see in like every deck in the game pretty much. So anyways, Acer is definitely an interesting supporter to keep an eye out for to see how good it will be. It could be very good and almost meta-defining, or it could be kind of meaningless. I think it'll be kind of on a similar power level to Briar, a very solid supporter for some decks that can swing games, but also a supporter that'll kind of go honestly forgotten about a lot of the time as well, where there are decks that could play it that are like choosing not to play it because it's pretty situational, or just aren't getting the chance to play it because they don't get it at the right time. But still a very meaningful supporter here. Then we see, I will, I guess, mention let's see, some lists. Yeah, we're playing this Hariyama here, which is a gust Pokemon on play and has a usable attack as well. So that could be nice. I did want to mention that. Don't know if it'll be played in most of the list. I think it is a solid option. We see, oh wow, we see a lot of, what, Arvins, Mabosstiff? Okay, there's a lot of different things people are playing in it. They're definitely interesting, different options. Also, of course, Vssor EX. I kind of forgot about that with Mega Lucario, but that could be a really nice combo. Of course, a very strong card here. Then we have the next deck, which is Mega Venusaur EX. We see two different builds, which honestly don't look that different. I'm not going to lie. But we have the Mega Venusaur EX, a really interesting Mega here, the highest HP Mega, and it has 380 HP, and it also has a really interesting ability, Solar Trance, allowing you to move your grass energy around your board. Basic grass energy, though. That is important. Then you have Vssor EX, of course, gets energy on your board and also allows you to go and draw cards as well. And then you also have the very powerful Stadium here. I think it's translated as like Forest of Vitality or something. And it allows you to evolve your grass Pokemon instantly, except on turn 1. So also it does not allow you to work. It does not work with Rare Candy because of what Rare Candy says on it. But anyways, it's a very strong card to allow you to get a Mega Venusaur onto your board quickly, and other cards as well. And so it's strong here. It does 240. That's not super strong. 240 for 4 is like kind of bad. Oh no, very bad. Obviously ability though, with the ability of Heal My Circlepine EX as well, those two work together very well to power you up and to be like a very decent draw engine. I kind of been a little critical of Heal My Circepine EX and Rageable EX. Not that it's bad, but it's not like, it's not a great draw engine there. But also, like a lot of your energies aren't grass energies. Here you're playing more grass energies. You also play bug catching set to find them and to find the ogre vines and stuff. So I feel like it'll flow smoother here, just work a bit better. Additionally, we don't see it in this list. Again, I'm gonna take a look at a few different lists here. Oh, here it is. And we see that they can be playing Professor Turbo's Scenario, which is very good in the deck, allowing you to scoop up the Mega Venusaur EX because it has a lot of HP here, which is obviously nice. And then we even see Hero's Cape in this list, which doesn't actually play Professor Turbo's Scenario. And then there you can scoop up the Pokemon, return it to your hand, and then it's like completely healed. But you can also move the Grass Energy off first, and you can play it down again as well. And then you can evolve it instantly as well. So you do that using the stadium. So it's a very nice synergy there. It's not completely perfect because you do need to like switch, but that's not that bad either. There are some other ways you could do stuff with this deck. We see some pretty interesting text here in different options. We see this Meganium popping up in a lot of these lists, allowing you to just have more energy on your board. And there's Toad EX as well, which is kind of fun. But ultimately, there's also the supporter Wild's Compassion, which is a functionally similar card to Terra Scenario. It doesn't return the Pokemon to your hand, it just heals it up, and also returns the energy to your hand, which is normally bad, but can be good, allowing you to reattach it using your ability to draw more cards. So I wanted to mention that there. Overall, I think Mega Vssor EX is decent, but not amazing. It's definitely a deck that is, it's a new deck. People want to play the new decks, and it has the highest HP ever. That's like kind of crazy, but it's not some insane deck either. The type stuff is also interesting. Then we have Cavalon EX here. This list is playing three new cards here. It's playing the Stadium, which is actually pretty interesting. I was wondering if this would get play. Called It's not here. Let me find it. It is playing the Stadium Dangerous Ruins, which says when a player puts a Pokemon on their bench, except for a basic, onto the bench, I believe from hand. I think I asked this in the previous video. Not sure if this is how it works. I think it only works from hand, but based on what it says, it works from deck. But anyways, except for Darkness, and then put 2 damage counters on that. It would be interesting if it is from deck, but we just don't really see that. But they could be changing it. Anyways, so yeah, it puts damage counters on Pokemon, and it allows you to get damage counters on your own Pokemon for Monkey Dory and your opponents to do some more damage, which is nice because you can come up short. And we also see the item Iron Defender, reducing the damage you take, your metal Pokemon take by 30, which is interesting. And the new Mega Mawile EX. I think Mega Mawile EX is one of the deck, functions very nicely here. Honestly, very similarly to Mega Gardevoir EX here. Except it's a basic. Obviously, Mega Gardevoir EX evolves from the Gardevoir line, or the Curlia there. So it's not like you're requiring like a whole like new evolution line. But Marvel, you can just like toss down the turn you need it. So it's really nice here for its 2 attacks. The second attack, Big Bite, 260. If your opponent doesn't have any damage counters on them already, so it could be nice in some situations to knock out like a Goldango or something like that. But it's something like that. I actually don't know what the other things like that would be. I'm not going to lie. Maybe Raging Bolt is kind of like that, having more than 220, which our Caledon does, but 260 or less, because again, if it has more, you could like hit into it then Monkey Dory after, but it's kind of sketchy. But it's not a bad attack either. Then the first attack here, Greedily Devour for 2 metal, which again is payable with our Caledon instantly. You don't need another energy from hand. You do 80 for each prize you've taken, so nice as a finisher here, and also being a 3-prizer, you don't want to get any knocked out, right? So it's very solid in the deck. Nothing crazy, but nice little additions there. We see Mega Manectric EX. Mega Manectric EX definitely a deck that I don't know, I was a little critical of. I think people are like very surprised when I said it wasn't super good. And it's not super good. I mean, it's all right here with 2 different attacks here, which are really, really nice attacks, which allow it to, which set is it from? Not this one, apparently. It's in Mega Sophonia. And his first attack, Wall's Basics. So I haven't talked too much about like basics, but there's like Raging Bolt, which is very good, and there's basic attackers in a lot of these different decks. So it's a really nice option here. 2 Wall Basics, but it's not amazing. Your second attack here, though, and also you do a free retreat, which is nice. But you do 2-1 for 3, but you do 330 if you discard the energy from it. So 330 for 3 is a lot of damage. It's one-shotting pretty much every Pokemon in the game that's not a Mega, so that's really nice there. And actually, it's one-shotting itself as well, so that's kind of funny. And then you have the Magneton here, which knocks itself out and allows you to accelerate 3 energy from your hand from your discard pile to your Pokemon, to your Lightning Pokemon. We also see Iron Hands EX, we see Zero Aura, we see Luxray. So some different options here. Honestly, the Luxray seems like kind of sketchy. Oh, well, you have Electric Generator. There we go. That's the name of the card, which allows you to accelerate more energies as well. That being said, you're not attacking turn 1, but I mean you could with Salvatore if you really want to. But ultimately, I think the next is like decent. We also see it teched into electric box decks as well. I think these are being grouped together, but they are playing a 2-2 line, so they are like meaningfully leaning into it. So I think it's pretty interesting here. As a deck, I don't think it's crazy good, but I do think it's decent. I say it kind of falls in line with a lot of the Lightning decks we've seen, honestly, for quite a while, where you see stuff like Miraidon, Joltik Box, things like that. I'd say I'd expect a similar level of success. With this being a piece in some of those decks, not like within Joltik Box, but like within these Lightning decks, and being a bit toolboxy with different attacking options. So it's decent here. Doing 330 is good, right? It's a good amount of damage, but you are losing it as well. So I think a lot of decks here are looking to tank. We see tankiness here as well with Wily's Compassion, which allows you to again heal up your Megas. I didn't really say what it did. what it does is it allows you to heal all your megas, and then you return the energy to it, attach to it to your hand, which you won't have any energies presumably, so it just heals it up completely. And it's cool, but it's not like insane. I mean, it's good, but then you need to re-accelerate the energies as well. You can use 2 magnetons. You could do knock out 2 magnetons. I haven't talked about this here. We don't actually see Iono in this list, but you can knock out 2 magnetons, so give up 2 prizes. Your Mega Manectric goes down. You have another Mega Manectric. Your opponent has to go through that and essentially take 8 prizes. So that's interesting here. Iono could capitalize on that, but it's still a little sketchy as well. Then we see Ethan's Typhlosion here. Nothing really much to say about it. I will mention the Psyduck, which isn't out. Not sure when it's coming out, but it's like a counter to Dusknoir, so that's like kind of cool. Very Bangle's good for it. Yeah, whatever. Still good, but nothing crazy. Then we see, okay, not loading again. We got Ceruledge. It's Ceruledge. Oh, we see, yeah, the Lunatone engine as well. Lunatone, really nice for some extra draw throughout the course of the game. I don't think it's going to change Ceruledge that much, but it is nice with Fighting Gong as well. Pretty interesting there, though, nothing crazy. We also see Cynthia's as well. I think Cynthia's is, oh, not the last deck here, but the last deck I'm going to spend serious time on. And Cynthia's Garchomp EX, of course, you have Cynthia's Garchomp EX to do damage, and you can boost it with Premium Power Pro. We also see Fighting Gong to search for cards to set you up, which is nice in the deck. Honestly, surprised there's only 1 copy in this list. Cynthia's, and if you're not familiar, Cynthia's and Goldingos are the 2 decks I'm really playing in Standard right now. And then we see this list is playing 3. This one's playing 3. Okay, yeah, so most of them I think are playing more. But anyways, yeah, you got Fighting Gong, which is nice. Premium Power Pro, which is really nice because Cynthia's Roserade increases your damage, and Premium Power Pro increases your damage. And then, of course, you have Cynthia's Power Bite to increase your HP. You just have amazing stuff going on all around with this deck, in my opinion. But also, it's a little maybe a little slow. It can struggle to find everything you're looking for because your engine isn't like really an engine. You can draw some cards with your attack, but it's not amazing, and you don't have energy acceleration. So overall, there are some issues with the deck as well. The other new inclusion, which is really interesting, is Vitality Forest, allowing you to, of course, evolve your grass Pokemon instantly. Of course, not turn 1, but you're not looking to go do something crazy turn 1. You're looking to go crazy like turn 2 or something like that, and you're not necessarily searching out your Cynthia's Roselias and Cynthia's Roserade. So if you don't have Cynthia's Roselia down turn 1, normally in Standard without Vitality Force, then you're not able to do anything from there, because, they can't just evolve instantly. But you want to get down your Cynthia's Gabites down as quickly as possible, because those are your Cynthia's Gibbles turn 1, because those can go to Cynthia's Gabites, which can search out your other Cynthia's Pokemon and really get the ball rolling and put you in a really good position. That being said, again, in that situation, you can't get down your Roselias and Roserades, but now you can. So that's a really cool combo there, which is pretty fun. Then we also see Flareon or EVBox or whatever. It's fine. Not much to say about it here. Still the kind of same stuff going on. We see Blaziken. Haven't really touched this deck. Haven't really seen it that much either. But it's all right. It's kind of fun there. Got Mega Kangaskhan EX. Not really going to talk about this too much. It's like a solid attacker. Has like really high HP, and is a bit of a toolbox style deck as well. It kind of functions similarly-ish to Trapgos EX, I guess. And it's kind of paired nicely with it as well. You want to be tanky with like the Bouffalant and stuff. Then we see Zoroark EX. Again, it's fine. We see Zekrom EX. I think this is, just Lightning Box. And yeah, that's it. We talked about Lightning Box already, though. But tell me down below in the comments what your thoughts are on the meta. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell, all the good stuff. I'm really excited to talk about the stuff going on in the Pokemon TCG with the Worlds announcement, which I hope is fine. I hope it's awesome. I hope it's exciting. I'd say sometimes they've been like kind of boring. Like the Trainers Pokemon one, I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of boring. I hope it's not something that's just like some name tag slapped on something. I hope it's some crazy mechanic. I hope it's, I don't know. Honestly, the Mega Zone was big, might be more of that. Anyways, we'll talk about that when we talk about it. And I'm super excited, but I hope you are too. As I said, like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. And as Osmic said, see you in the next video.